Hello, my name is Tayfun, and in this lecture of our auxiliary course, you will learn about the heat command in Linux. So let's get started. So the heat command prints the first lines of a file. So to print the first 4 lines of our auxiliary with here auxiliary text file with heat, we can use the option N. So heat N4 and auxiliary here. And as you can see here, we printed first 4 lines of our auxiliary text file. So if you request more lines than the file contains, the heat prints the full file like cat does. So if you here, let's actually open, and as you can see, we have 6 lines here. So if you write it like that in 11, then it will just print the 6 lines here. So it will print whole file. So he can also read from the std informal pipeline fun. So a command uses to reduce the output from another command when you don't care to see all of it. So like a long directory listing. For example, let's list the first 5 file names in the bin directory here. So ls, or let's actually 15 file names in the bin directory. So bin heat, and it's gonna be 15, and as you can see, we printed first 15 lines in the bin directory. We also have the cut command. So the cut command prints 1 or more columns for a file. For example, let's actually here, so let's print all titles from the auxiliary file which appear in the here. For example, cut f2 and auxiliary here, and as you can see here, we got this here. So cut provides 2 ways to define what column is. So the first is to cut by field f here. So this f, when the input consists of string fields, each separated by a single tab character. So conveniently, this is exactly the format of a file of auxiliary here. So the preceding cut command prints the second field of each file. So if you write it like that, 1 here or f3, and as you can see here, so we can also do that like that here, and let's run it again, and as you can see here, we got a different output. So to shorten the output, we can also use the pipe it to heat the print only the first 3 lines, and so on. So now let's actually use the grep command in our Linux command training here. So grep is an extremely powerful command, but for now I will hide most of its capabilities and say it prints lines that match a given string. So for example, let's create like it here, grep auxiliary and auxiliary here. So auxiliary is a text file, so let's actually change it from the UI here, auxiliary.txt. For if some of you are Windows users, you will understand that this is a text file here, but for Linux, it's actually text files is not stored with a txt file here, so they are just stored a plain file. So here auxiliary.txt, and as you can see here, we got all the auxiliary here. So for example, this command displays lines from auxiliary that contain the auxiliary string here. So you can also print lines that don't match a given string. So with the v option here, so grep v auxiliary, and auxiliary.txt, these lines here, as you can see here, we will exclude all of the auxiliary commands here. So in general, grep is useful for finding text in a collection of files, and we can also use command prints the lines that contain the string Perl in with the names ending here txt. For example, grep auxiliary and txt in a bin here. So we are not in a bin. So in this case, grep here, let's actually go to bin here, cd cd bin. We can also write it like that to give grep python and txt. Since I don't think we're gonna have here, as you can see here, we don't have any python here. So in this case, if you have a python here, the grep will find matching lines like it did in the auxiliary here and print it on the screen. So we also have the sort command. So actually let's clear this, clear, and the sort command reorders the lines of a file into ascending order by default. So you can also change the descending or other orders here. So for example, sort auxiliary.txt, and that's not sort here, sort. So you cannot read such file or directory because we are on a bin directory. So we're gonna go to home here, home, Kali and ls, clear. So sort auxiliary.txt, and as you can see here, it will sort our file. So let's actually edit file, so make it a little more visible like this. For example, write it Apple, BMW, computer, Zebra, Windows, Linux, and here. So now we're gonna write it like that, and as you can see, Apple, BMW, computer, Linux, Windows, and lastly Zebra. So it will write it our lines with it with ascending order. So this is by default. So if you want to change it like this, for example, sort from the descending order, so you're gonna write it like that, R here. So as you can see here, first the Zebra, Windows, Linux, computer, BMW, and that's lastly A here, which is Apple here. So the sort here can order the lines alphabetically by default or numerically with the N option here. So for example, if we write it like that, so actually let's write it here, numbers, or actually let's write something like 2002, 2023, 2009, 2010, 2015, 2024, 2025, and 1098 here. So write it like that, and after that we're gonna use the, for example, cut here, cut. So I will demonstrate this with the pipelines that cut the third field in the animals. So this here, for example, in this case, I'm gonna 6 here, cut F6, auxiliary in the auxiliary txt, and as you can see, we got this here. So let's actually make it like that, cut 1, F1, and as you can see, we got the same output here. So now we're gonna use that cut F3 animals.txt. After we're gonna sort this with this and oops, not animals here, it's gonna be auxiliary here. So auxiliary txt, and as you can see here, we sorted it within the ascending here. So first 98, 2, 9, 10, 15, 23, 24, and 25, but we actually read it quite opposite here. So we ended with 98, and as you can see here, we ended with top numbers, but first we write it with the ascending order here, and as you can see here. So we can also write it descending order by adding after n, we can also add r here, so it will write at descending order, and as you can see, first we've written the highest number, and then it got to from the highest windows here, and as you can see here, this is it. So if you write it like that, sort nr auxiliary.txt, it will write exactly the same output like this. So we also have the unique command. Not unique here, so unique here, just unique. So this unique command, the text repeated jacking lines in a file. So by default it removes the repeat. So here, for example, let's add some lines that has same outputs. For example, here, oops, let's open, yeah, let's add some lines. So let's add Linux twice, or here, Windows here, oops, here, here. So now let's demonstrate here, for example, cat auxiliary.txt, and as you can see, we got this here. So we will use the unique auxiliary.txt, and as you can see here, we are not showing the same outputs again and again like this here. So notice that the unique reduced the first three lines to here single in Linux here. And as you can see here, we got just one Linux, but here we also had two Windows. We got one Windows, and after that we are just seeing one Windows per line, and after that we are seeing another here. So we can also use the, for example, print the gray our lines with cut here. So cut F1 auxiliary txt here. So, and we will also that sort, and here we will use the sort and unique C here, sort in R, and after that heat here in 1. And as you can see, we just got 5 Linux here.